Welcome to the Powerful Comicsman podcast. This is Jerald Dorado, and this is 40 Life Wisdom at 40 series. We're gonna continue today at number 16. But before we do that, let me tell you about our little online pastry shop called Miucha Lux Cakes. Okay, so Miucha Lux Cakes is our cakes, donuts, pastries, and wonderful dessert shop. You can check us out uh, in Instagram and Facebook at hello.miucha. That's at HELLO.MIUCCIA. There's lots of surprises there. Check us out. It's vegan and it is the best here in the Philippines. Okay, so we are now at number 16 in our 40 Life Wisdom at 40 series. The a series that I created for my just to mark not really celebrate, just to mark my 40th year, actually upcoming 40th year um, of existence here in planet Earth. So at number 16, we have get punched in the face at least once. Yeah, so this is actually uh, maybe an MMA quote or a combat sports quote. I cannot find the original author of this quote, but I've heard it being repeated in several MMA podcasts that I listen to, and yeah, it's if you have tried getting punched in the face, you would realize the truth in this saying. Actually, the complete quote, if you look it up in the internet, is everyone should be punched in the face at least once, realizing you aren't made of glass and it doesn't hurt as much as you feared it would. It's extremely freeing. So that's uh I'm a huge MMA fan. So uh, like I said, this had been discussed many times, and it is a a thing that a lot of the most successful uh, athletes, combat sports athletes, agree to and believe in. And the thing is, this is not just for. It doesn't apply exclusively to combat sports. You can easily make make you can easily apply this in your day to day lives, and any activity that you have or any goal that you pursue. But for now, I'm gonna take I'm gonna send this advice. Um, I'm gonna encourage you to take it literally, actually, because you can use this as a metaphor for anything. Let's say hardships to punch you in the face, diba? But uh, one thing that I discovered, and I actually was late in the game. I only tried it because I became a big fan of combat sports. It started with when Manny Pacquiao started winning and started making a name for himself. I tried boxing and then MMA for when I rediscovered the UFC. Pero so I started boxing and realized how beneficial it is to learn martial arts. Yeah, so I was actually thinking of putting of using a different title for this entry, which is I should I was thinking if it should be learn martial arts. Ganun. Kasi it's it's really beneficial, not just to your health, not just to your to for self defense, but I don't know. I think it would be obvious to some, but some people would not realize how beneficial it is to your confidence, to your discipline. Just discipline alone. And again, I'm gonna go back to building a good character. Having discipline is one of the core things that you have to do to master to have a good character, because discipline, it will root almost everything else, like you're gonna keep your word, you're gonna keep to you're gonna discipline yourself for consistency, to make results, everything. A lot of good things um, can that could happen to your life would could root in discipline, and martial arts is the ultimate teacher of it. I truly believe it, because one, especially if you're young, and this also applies to not just for men, because combat sports is typically or traditionally um parang for men. But now, since the popularity of boxing, MMA, Muay Thai, and other combat sports, um, while it rises, a lot of female participants had been trying. And when you go to a boxing gym, there's a lot of girls training with you. Although most of them would be for training, not to fight, but just for fitness. But even so, well, I don't think I haven't actually seen uh, women women trainees in the gym, in my boxing gym, who who participated in in a sparring. Pero sa jiu-jitsu may nakita na ako. Pero yung boxing, well, jiu-jitsu is also an alternative, 'di ba? If you're gonna get armbarred, 'di ba? Or but being punched in the face. I remember getting punched in the face in one of our sparring sessions in in our training, in what many years ago. Uh, I got punched right smack in the mouth. Just like what Mike Tyson said. Everybody has a plan until they get punched in the mouth. Diba? Kasi if other sports, I guess would also serve for this quote. Kasi there's still hardship. Let's say basketball, but I don't think there's an alternative for being punched in the face. Diba? Being dunked on is different. Diba? Kasi if you can, it's it's actually scary to think about the proposition of somebody full force driving his fist right to your head and hitting you. And like like what the quote says, realizing that you aren't made of glass and that it will take so much more than a single punch to put you down. That is liberating. That is a good feeling. Even if you get stunned, you can get back up. And it's encouragement, and it is also not just freeing. It is also uh, mind opening, that there are that you can actually get hit in the face. I've talked to many, well, not too many, several MMA fighters, um, uh, world champions. I've had Chris Hoffman, and then um, John Adahar, and all of them. They were they told me that the first time they went in the gym, they got their asses whooped, diba? And now they're champions. Kahit si Sugar Ray Estroso, I also had him. He's uh he's the heavyweight champion in URCC. It's it's humbling, diba? It's gonna that you are, even though you are a champion, and even they acknowledge it, that even if they're already champions, somebody in the gym is very well equipped rather. Somebody else in his own gym can still whoop his ass. It just so happened that he has the belt, and you can learn from the ethics, from 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 the training. Kasi you're gonna, especially if you're gonna train competitively, if you're gonna, that's kasi training for a competition is that would become not just training, it's already conditioning. You're gonna condition your body for a certain duration of time for a fight, wherein wherein you are not just you are not just expected to beat up somebody and using your body, your fist, your hands, your elbows, your knees, your legs. Your opponent also has the same directive. Your body should be able to absorb what he has to offer, or else you're gonna lose, diba? And that is scary. Even the champions, not just the one that I had the pleasure to talk to, even UFC champions, even John Jones admitted to being scared, having doubts, diba? Mga ganyan. World champions. And it is scary, but it is also useful. Kasi if you are a real champion, you're not, even if you're scared, you're still gonna go through it, diba? You would build courage. You would need to trust your training. You need to trust your coaches. You need to trust yourself that you did enough. And you should be able to say that to a certain extent if you expect to win. Kasi if you, kung tingin mo bitin, tapos then that's gonna affect how you think, your mentality, and make you susceptible into self-doubt, and ultimately losing, getting knocked the fuck out. And when you get knocked out, you don't just lose. You can get truly embarrassed, diba? It's it's being getting knocked out in public is to say the least not a pleasant experience, diba? Well, there are people who can take it like champions, but I don't think anyone would wish to be knocked out, diba? So you can apply the same thing in life, but if you can try martial arts, that is an excellent way to achieve it. I think that is one of the not one of the fastest ways to do it. So if I'm gonna advise you, Kasi aside from the health benefits, obviously, take it a little more serious. If you're a guy, a girl, don't think of it as uh, as something that you just do, just an activity to pass time. Um, Research about if you're planning to take up boxing. Research what boxing is. What is Muay Thai? What is the history behind it? Why did they develop it? What was it used for? If you're gonna go taekwondo, because there's rich history, di ba? Koreans used taekwondo uh, in war, actual war, di ba? May mga ganong stories. Ano yung history ng Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, which is very rich, 'di ba? The families learn about the Gracies, 'di ba? Kasi the more you learn about these things, the more interest you will have, and the more interest you have, then the more um, what's the word? The more enthusiasm you would gain in practicing, and it's not gonna be a waste of time, diba? Kasi I've seen people, well, it's their choice, it's not for me to tell them off or anything, but I've seen some people in the gym na I've seen them for a very long time na, and I mean, they can't even throw a proper punch, and it's partly because of the trainer, 'di ba? Kasi if I'm gonna train, I'm gonna make sure I'm teaching the right stuff, and that my student would kumbaga nandun ka na 'di ba? Nandun ka na gawin mo na ng tama yung trabaho. I'm gonna make sure that, kasi it will reflect on you if you're a boxing coach, and your students punch like you know wala akong video parang para silang nangangalmot na pusa. Then you're not an effective trainer, 'di ba? But then so if you are planning to train, if you want to heed my advice, and you're gonna go ahead, because a lot of people are on the verge. They're just on the edge. They just need a little push. I'm telling you now, it's gonna be worth it. Real worth it. One of the best ways that you can spend time in this life is learning martial arts. I truly believe that and back it up 100%. Martial arts. But make sure, kumbaga pag-aralan mo muna yung let's say boxing na lang. When a boxer, watch videos of boxers, boxing fights, and training videos. See what they look like when they punch, 'di ba? And then copy it, 'di ba? Tapos makikita mo dapat pag nagte-training ka, dapat maging ganun din ang itsura mo. 'Di ba? Like kasi hindi mo makikita si Manny Pacquiao punching like a cat scratching air. 'Di ba? Walang ganun. So, makikita mo tama yung movement ng kamay niya, ng paa niya, ng shoulders niya, ng hips niya when he punches. 'Di ba? There's form. You should mind the form. And if you're not seeing resemblance dun sa trabaho mo from what the professionals are doing, then you're doing it wrong. You should change your trainer or tell him na ayusin niya yung trabaho niya, di ba? yun. So, and gather. Kasi, ako kasi, I started training martial arts. I'm not by any means of the imagination as a martial arts expert. Okay, let's get that out of the way. I only experienced some boxing and a little sparring. That's all. Okay, I'm nowhere fighter caliber. Probably, but I would say, maybe I'm overestimating myself. I could probably beat up in a fight. I'd probably have a 60 to 65% of winning. So that's pretty high. Kasi madami ng mga nagte-training ng martial arts ngayon eh. Siguro ganun. Yun ang level ko. I may be wrong. I might be 30% lang. Pero I would say I'm at 60. Okay? Kasi if you're like, let's say, Chris Hoffman here or Alvin Aguilar here in the Philippines, they probably win 99% of the time. Kasi they're champions. Diba? They're at the top. They're the 1%. Top 1% in terms of badassery. Kasi they had that much training already. Pero I think you should be able to do that. You could protect yourself, diba? And protect your loved ones because you'll never know. You'll never know when you're gonna need it. You're gonna have to train. Another quote from the MMA community is, you train, martial arts community rather, train so that you don't need to use it. Train enough. I think it's from the jiu-jitsu community. Um, Parang if you're gonna train enough, kasi martial arts could also, it starts with words with actions. Without you can win a fight without even throwing a punch. May mga ganun. So there's deep philosophy as well when you delve into martial arts. Because let's say Bruce Lee, aside from the fancy kicks and punches, the man is a philosopher. So, Chael Sonnen, even Conor McGregor, diba? If you're gonna listen to his interviews, those people are really mentally tough individuals. That's why they have achieved what they achieved. And that's and I'm sure for the most part martial arts was the catalyst of their mental success. So yun, if you are if you're a bum na pahila-hilata dyan, I'm telling you, take up martial arts. If you are on the edge, parang kailangan mo ng push, let me be the guy to push you in that right direction. Who knows, it could be a journey for you. And it doesn't matter how old you are, 'di ba? Kasi ako, I was saying kanina, I think mga 27 na ako nagsimula, 'di ba? And I kind of regret it. Kasi parang nung college ako, or nung high school ako, kasi I would have loved to have started when I was, let's say, 15, 16, ganun. Kaso walang opportunity, wala namang mga gyms dati. Hindi naman uso dati yun eh. Nauso lang naman yung naging trendy ang boxing sa Pilipinas when Manny Pacquiao started winning. Diba? And when that happened, I was already in my mid-20s. So, nag-try ako. And I loved it. Unfortunately, hindi ko natuloy-tuloy. Right now, I'm not training, but I'm just uh nagji-gym lang ako, nagwe-weights and some jogging and cardio stuff. But I would love to come back to the inside the ring to train boxing again and try jiu-jitsu. And it's I think it's something that I'm gonna keep doing, even though medyo inconsistent. But at least I've already tried, di ba? And I got I got stunned. Naalala ko nung unang nasapak ako. Ano mo yun? Hindi. You'll feel parang, I don't know if it's blood, pero there's something in your nose that would, alam mo yun, snap your head back. Kasi okay lang yung ano eh. You really get punched in the face when your neck snaps back eh. Yung parang, pag hindi mo naramdaman, if you don't get stunned, then it's probably medyo bitin pa yun. That's what I want to say. Bitin pa yun. But still, it will actually take a lot for a person to be able to hit you, di ba? At saka ang masarap dito, pag ikaw na yung nakasapak, di ba? And you would have the ability na alam mo na you can do it, that you can actually inflict damage. Of course, it's a sport, okay? But you'll never know when shit's gonna get real. But yeah, take up martial arts. Take up martial arts. I'm telling you, it's gonna be worth it. Yon, get punched in the face at least once.